In this video, we're gonna talk about editing the available page. So here we're logged into our admin panel, and we're gonna go down on our sidebar to available. We can see all available, add available, which is adding a new animal, and these are also all of our custom taxonomies for the different categories that we have. So we'll just click on available. In here, we're gonna see all of the animals that we added. If we wanted to filter by specific species, right here it says show all species. We can filter just ball pythons, for instance, and hit filter. And this will show us just the ball pythons that we have listed. This can make it a little bit easier to find the animal that we're looking for. The other thing we can do, we're going to go back to show all species and hit filter. There's also a search bar on the right hand side, so if we're searching for something specific like albino, this will show us all of the albinos. Albino male 2011 number 371 and albino blood python. So if someone asks for a specific animal and you're looking for that animal in particular, you can make it even easier to find that post by clicking here. We're going to go back to show all. We're going to delete this and hit search again, and this will allow us to display all the results, or we could simply hit all available again, and that again would reset our search results. So now we're going to go in and view an animal. Now we're also going to go back to our web page so we can see what we're talking about here in terms of the website. We'll click on available, and we'll click on ball pythons. Now here is the albino. Clearly it's not an albino, but this is for demonstration purposes only. So we have the image, we have the price, we have the type of snake, we have the ID of the snake, the sex, the year it was born, and the ability to add in some short text. If this text goes longer, the size of this box will simply expand. So we're going to go back to our page here. So we'll see the title of the snake up here this should be the actual ID of the snake. Because if we just use something like albino, then in the back end, when we clicked on all available, we'd see albino listed a bunch of times and we wouldn't know which animal we're looking at. So here we're going to enter in the actual ID of the snake. Here we can enter the short description that is displayed. We're going to go down a little further and we'll see our magic field section. So we have an image, we have the title. The title is going to display as the type of snake, the price for the snake, and anytime we hover over these little information icons, it'll give us a little description of what should be in here. For instance, enter the price, including the dollar symbol, or it gives us the option of adding in other text. So if instead of $450, maybe we want to put in something like pending or call, depending on the price. The location notes down here are just for our own personal benefit, so you can enter in some simple notes on where the animal is located. This information here will not show up on the front end of the website at all. Now, on the right-hand side, we have some other category boxes to check. So we shouldn't really need to add more of these categories, but we can choose if this animal that we're entering is a ball python, a blood python, blue-tongued skink, or a hybrid. And this will determine what section in our available page here. For instance, if it's under ball python, blood, hybrid, or skinks, the animal will be displayed in. We can put the animal in multiple categories, however that's not recommended. Down here we have the sex, so we'll choose if it's male or female. If we want to, we can even hit add new category and do something like unsexed and hit add new category. But we're going to uncheck that since we know this is a male. The year born, we can already see down here it shows 2011, so I can click the X to remove that, and I can add this in here again, 2011. Now the year right here, we're going to go back to our web page. We'll see the year is shown here where it says born. This is the year. The other important feature of this tag is that on our search criteria panel here, it'll add it in here. So if we added, hit minus on there. So if we added something like, instead of 2011, we had something like undetermined or unknown, then that would also show up in the search criteria here, anything that's unknown. We're going to go back here. We can add multiple years if we choose to, so be careful with this. Now you'll see 2011 and 2012. Obviously the birth year should only be 1 year. Another common mistake people will make is they will enter the year here, and if you don't hit add, this year will not be added. So you have to be sure to hit add so that it shows down here. We're going to delete that, and now we see we're just left with 2011. The type down here, this could be anything that you want. We can put in albino, you could put in annoying phones, we can type in albino, we can type in, if it's a albino spider ball python, we could either type in albino spider, and we can just keep adding to these if we want. We can type in spider. I prefer to put in simply the base mutations because all of these types, when we go back to our website, these types are all going to be listed down here. So we don't want to get too specific, otherwise number one, we'll end up with a ton of types and this list will be going way far down. But if we want to enter in the basics, such as if this was an albino spider, we'd probably want to enter in albino and then also spider. That way people that are interested in spiders can click on, when they get in here, they can click on spider and it will show all the spiders and all the albino spiders. It will show us anything with the spider mutation inside of it. So I think it's very important simply to put the base mutations in there. If there's something you really want to feature, you can put the full mutation type in there. But just keep in mind that the longer that list goes, the more difficult it's going to be for someone to search. And then we also have the price range. Under 5, this is something, a field that we don't absolutely have to have, but probably should be put in to make it easier for people to search. So we have under 500, 2,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 2,000, or over 5,000. If we want to add a new category, we can do so by hitting add new category, and we can simply type it in here. This will add it to the list, and we can use it in the future. For instance, maybe we want, instead of over 5,000, maybe we want 5,000 to 10,000 and have one that's over 10,000. So we have our image up here, and we can see we've already uploaded an image. If we want to choose a new image, we can hit choose file. And we can select our image from our desktop and hit open, but I don't want to replace this image at this time. So we're going to go ahead and hit, actually we're not going to hit update because I don't want to save any of these changes. So we'll go back to all available. If we were starting from scratch and we're going to add a new animal, I could either hit add available down here, or from my available page, I could hit add available from up here. So we'll hit add available. This one will be sample ball python. This is not a real ball python. For our description, and actually up here, this is going to be the ID of the animal. So we'll put sample ball 2011 number 389. On our image over here, we'll hit choose file. We'll select our image from the desktop. Our title here, we'll put sample ball python. Our price, we'll put TBD for to be determined. Location notes, La La Land. Now we're going to go back to our sidebar here. We're going to put this as a ball python under species. We'll add it as unsexed since it doesn't exist. The year, we'll put 2012 and hit the add button. Now we can see it added down here. The type, we'll put fake and hit the add button, and now we see it down here. Our price range, let's go big, over $5,000 because it doesn't actually exist. Now we'll go up, hit publish. Now, when we go back to our web page here, we're going to refresh the screen, and we're going to see our sample ball python with our price, our ID, that was the title we put in the top, our short description, the sex if it's unsexed, and the year it was born. And now if we click on our image, it'll also give us a much bigger image with the title down below. So to close this, we can either click X or click on the overlay. Now we'll also see our type over here. We added a new type called fake. So if I click this to add the fake term to my search, I'll see I only have one animal that's tagged as a fake type, and that's the animal here. By clicking on the minus icon, that will remove that term from our search, and we have it down here. In our searches, we can also say we have an animal at 450, 2800, 1500, so we're going to say animals from 500 to 2000. This will just show us the animals that were between 500 and 2000. We can click minus again to remove that. We can also choose just females, which will show us these two. Now we have one that's 2800 and 1500, and we can also add more terms to our search. So if we hit minus, that would remove the female from our search criteria, but let's say we only want animals that we're cheap, so we want animals that are between $500 and $2,000. So we'll click that again, and we can see we only have one animal that's now displaying at $1,500. If we remove just the female search, and then we can remove the price range search, and now it will show all the animals. Okay, we're going to go back to our web page now. We can go back into all available. Now our sample ball python here, it was a sample, so we really want to throw it in the trash. So we'll hit trash. Okay, now we're going to go back to our website, and we're going to refresh. And we'll see that the item has now been removed. So in our trash here, so this doesn't get cluttered up, sometimes we want to delete something temporarily, but we're not quite sure if we're going to add it back in, so it's good to leave it in the trash. But this animal, since it was a fake, is definitely going to be removed, so we'll simply hit empty trash, and that will delete all of them. Or we could have hit delete permanently underneath that individual item. And that's all for adding available animals.